swear. There have been many issues, and it's all Rockstar's fault, and that's why I'm 10 minutes late to start this stream. I'm sorry. But we're here now, finally. First track is a themed track. No, it's not. It's a... Yeah, the first track is a themed track. And then the rest are all regular circuit races. And yeah, the reason that we're late is because I couldn't get the playlist order. The playlist order actually matters tonight. And I still haven't gotten it exactly where I want it to be, but it'll do for now. But as always with Rockstar, when you're creating a playlist, you try to order the tracks, and sometimes it'll just put one or two tracks in random positions that you never put them in, and you try to put them back and it just jumbles the playlist order. So I was trying to find a way to make it work. So we're going to have two playlists tonight. The first one has 4 tracks and then the second one has 4 tracks, just so we can actually do it in an order that makes sense. It's not the order that I want it to be in, but it will do. And I'll explain why I wanted it in the order that I needed it in later on in the second half of the stream. This first half of the stream, it's all in the right order, and it all would have been in the right order anyway. But the second half is where I wanted a proper, or the order to make sense. But hey, we're here now. It's only an 8-year-old game that can't even have jobs in a playlist stick in the order that you put them in. Well, so welcome everybody to another content creator stream on Xbox again, and again for the last time as part of the community verified program. We will have Xbox content creator streams again, maybe with curated tracks as I've been talking about, but the community verified program where you can submit your own circuits and have them tested and stuff, that is done now for PS4 and Xbox One, and it will return. What a scumbag! It will return for, where am I going? Oh, just straight. It will return for the next gen versions of the game. Hey, this is fun. So this is a theme. Oh, we're going that way, are we? Okay. That's some prior knowledge. So yeah, this is a themed track to start us off. And the theme was basically if a rally track and a city track had a baby. Based on the description, that's what I'm assuming was also the theme. So that's why we're in the Omnus. That's why we're going over off-road sections as well, I guess. Thank you to the members and the re-members. Oh, we got bouncy bit at the end. It did say it was made for trophy trucks, but anything can be used. I see where the trophy truck bit came in. This is a good bit of fun. Like a city circuit, but, you know, off-road sections too. It's a bit out there, isn't it? It's like a rally in a city. Disqualification confirmed. Rip Hamilton. Or maybe we'll actually have a fun sprint to watch if he makes his way through the field. I hate sprint racing garbage. just do away with it. Yeah, fun track to start us off. Again, all the tracks tonight are regular racing circuits, except for this one. I wish there was a checkpoint at the end of that bridge, because I couldn't see where I was going on the first lap, and I slowed down because I didn't know where I was needing to go. It wasn't obvious to me that I just had to keep going on. Corner goes a lot better when I know where I was going. Oh, please. It was a reasonably clean lap at that point as well. Ruined it. Hey, this is fun. This is a fun little jaunt around the city. Very different. The Omnus was definitely a good idea. Cool. Jacques with the new subscription, thank you very much. The new membership, I should say, on YouTube. Thank you for becoming a member, the Tier 1 membership. DW44 with being a member for 3 months as well. Contrary to popular belief, I don't actually like tacos. I mean, the fact that you always have a taco mask on in GTA makes me think that's a lie. Also, Kevin said, why being a subscriber do I still get commercials on YouTube? Because YouTube. The amount of times I've tried to tell YouTube to make, as part of channel memberships, though people who are members of that channel not get ads on that channel, but they just don't do it. Presumably because they want to keep pushing YouTube Premium. But yeah, it's a YouTube decision. You become a subscriber on Twitch, you don't get ads. You become a member on YouTube, you still get ads. Cool track to start us off, that was fun. So the links for all these tracks are down below in the description, as always. If you want them and you're on Xbox, you can get them. Davik with the Prime subscription over on Twitch as well. Thank you very much for giving me some of your Amazon Prime money. Did you all know if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account and get an included subscription every month? You're basically giving me some of the money that you give to Amazon. You're forcing Amazon to give me money every month by using your Prime subscription. I talked about the new GTA trilogy in the news video Thursday, if anybody's interested in my thoughts on it. We'll stick to coupes. Let's not have Zions or Previans. So coupes B or below. No, coupes A or below. No, wait. The Previan and Zion in the same tier. They are, right? I mean, really, you want to use the Previan, but oh yeah, we'll be talking more about it on the podcast for sure, Hammer. Does YouTube get part of the subscription money? If you're talking about channel memberships, they get 30%. Same with super chats. So yeah, Coupes A, Exemplar, Felon, and Jackal. Top 5 in the playlist to the back of the grid. Whoever's left on pole position you start the harmonic start between 10 and 15 seconds on the timer. This is the track from the thumbnail. It looked pretty impressive. Good old exemplar. The podcast? Which podcast? Tell us more about it. The Choking Hazard podcast. YouTube.com/Choking Hazard Gaming. Don't we have a command for it? We should. We don't, evidently. Disappointing. First live stream? Welcome if it's your first live stream. By all means, keep coming to the streams on Twitch as well. This is all closed for now because it's all about showcasing the tracks with limited numbers of players, closed crew, but on the live streams on Twitch, for example tomorrow night, and on Sundays, we open up the crew to everybody to join. Rip. We normally limit these playlists to 16 players, but the track that I use to limit the playlist to 16 players is Drag Kings of Los Santos 16, and that's not in this first playlist because I've had to split them up. So that's why we've got more than 16 players in this first one. Wait, isn't that a Zion? This Master's not going to finish the race. Isn't that Zion ahead of him as well? I guess people don't have any coupes apart from Zions. Zions were not allowed in this race, so if you've got one, you're not allowed to finish. Come on, exemplar, top speed. Give me that speed. I just got absolutely destroyed by two Zions simultaneously. Scumbags. That's a stock exemplar. Zion's the only coupe anyone would want. Not anymore. The Previum's the only coupe you need. Unless you're going to take part in these races. In which case you need a variety of cars. I guess we actually rarely do the top classes in top cars in each class. Maybe Sport Classics is the most common that we'll do the top cars in. Fun little Palito Bay track. Crazy custom section. You've got to have a significant custom section for a Palito Bay track to stand out these days, because there's just not that much to use around here. But even on the road sections, we've got custom built roads that, you know, change the nature of what you would normally get if it was just utilizing stock standard Palito Bay roads. The whole section here is just very nicely made. Coming around to the hairpin, which is on the thumbnail. Such elevation change, but so smooth as well.
He gets such a huge boost from... Ah!
What is he doing? Excuse me? You can't just weave into people on the straight. Like it was multiple times, deliberate. I'm astounded. Well, that'll do.
He gets such a huge boost from... Ah!
Oh, just not enough. Come on, Exemplar, top speed! No. That was a nice little comeback in the end from starting at the back. I really enjoyed that track. I really I liked it. The Exemplar was really nice around there. You did the same to me all race. I got you. I thought that was like a somewhat deliberate attempt, Baggins. Thanks, man. Sorry about the weaving. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing any of that. Well, I don't want to see that ever again. That was ridiculous. If you take, especially since we're all so like frustrated with bad racecraft and bad rule following lately with the random races and all that kind of stuff. We need to start cleaning things up. Right, I've got some super chats to read. Thank you guys so much. Top 5 in the playlist to the back for the next race, remember. But we don't let Phil do anything about it. If we see it again, Phil, I'll allow it. Technical docks track, but in supers? Surely not. Should we do sport classics? A little bit slower. I think that's not a bad idea actually, given what happened in the last race. Any sport classic is fine. Dorky Panda with the $1. These are cool PS4 tracks. Thanks for showcasing. Such a troll. Bash Brannigan with the $6.99 Canadian dollar super chat. Fantastic. Cobb Bruffy Live. Welcome. Thank you, Bash, for the super chat. Christian with the £4.49 super chat. Top 5's always possible. It is, and it was in the end. Didn't have the great first lap, but don't take a cheetah or Turismo, coward. Well, my options are either Monroe or Turismo. So I feel like I'm going to be significantly I'm going to be significantly down on pace if I choose the Monroe. And Game Mania with the £2 super chat. 620 is the best car in GTA history. Don't know what you're talking about. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. And thank you to the YouTube members who stay members. Thank you guys in general just for all the support. $10 and 15 seconds. Oh, please, for the love of... Ah, it's a right old laugh, isn't it? By the time we get to the back, they've already gone. So, a docks track. Okay, that's a wait. It should be a wait. Already on strike one. shouldn't require me to call people out to wait when they crash. You know you've taken somebody out. Oh my good lord. Phil was so close to getting his wish there. Few like get out of the way. A few longer form corners where you can't like really see. You gotta learn the corner before you can take it at full speed. I like that. I like to see that sometimes. This is definitely a docks track with something a bit extra to it. It's not just using the dock roads, which I've never really liked. This is a little bit disconcerting because all the walls seem to blend into one in that chicane. But I like the curving on it. Stick to the inside on these longer corners. You can almost do it full speed. I think you can if you get the line right. Ah. It is quite refreshing for a docks track, that's true. Can totally do it flat out. Before the end of this race, I'm going to do that chicane flat out. That I had to lift only because there was people crashing in front of me. I like the elevation and the corner variety. Like that's what I miss from dock tracks, or like the old style of dock tracks before you could do custom stuff. I really don't like the sticky tire barriers on the outside there though. It's just like they were always the same. Every corner was a 90-degree flat right or left-hander. Alright, full speed chicane. Full throttle, don't lift. Easy. Clean lap, last lap, let's go. Top 5's always possible! Not quite. Almost. Wow, that last lap. You know, when you just get like into a flow and a zone with a car. That's exactly what happened on that last lap for me. I was just feeling it. Everything was just bang on. It's one of the very few instances where I'm not surprised that I got best lap. That last lap was really nice. And I don't normally say that about my own laps. You would have had me if I didn't get that curb boost. Yeah, I didn't get the right line on the back straight, on the main straight to the line. Could have been even faster. Piotr? Let me see if I can say this name properly. I'm going to ruin it. Sorry for butchering your name. Kroliosix. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so bad. Top 5 in the playlist to the back. Harmonic start between 10 and 15 seconds on whoever's at the front. Love your content in general. Greetings from Poland. Thank you. PLN. What's the currency of Poland? Polish zloty. Zloty. Thank you very much for the 10 Polish zloty. So much butchering. This is what I do. Right, we're going to do 3 laps on this. And we're going to do sports B. And we're actually going to do everything from now on until the final track on Drag Kings in Sports B as well. So Sports B is going to be the tier that we're going to adhere to for the rest of the stream until the final track. Zwater. Is that how it's pronounced? I didn't at all, DW. You said you suggested it, and I said maybe. I'll think about it, is what I said. So this is actually one of the tracks, which is one of the reasons why I was having such a nightmare about the playlist order. So all the tracks that we just played, obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, all of the tracks from these streams come from the community verified program. and obviously that's coming to an end for Xbox One and PS4, and then we're going to bring it back for PS5 and Series X when the enhanced and expanded editions come out. But all of the info for that and how it all works in more detail is on brookey.com/verified. But the way that it works is basically we have a group of testers, they test the circuits, rate them 1 to 5, and the average of those testers' scores becomes the score that the track gets overall. Anything that gets a score of 4 or higher gets community verified and then gets showcased on these streams. It's very difficult to get a track that scores 4 or higher, just putting it out there. The tracks that we just saw, the first 3, were all basically 4s. So they were 4.0 something or other. So they sort of just scraped in, but met they basically perfectly met the conditions for verification. This track is a 4.75, so it's pretty close to a 5, so we're expecting great things from this. And then if I'd left it there, that would have been it. That would have been all of the tracks for the community verified program for Xbox One. So really this is the last showcase of a verified track on Xbox One. This is the last one. This is the last track that we're going to do as part of that. Because the next 3 tracks didn't do enough to get verified. Their scores weren't high enough to hit the 4 mark that's required for verification. And we've done this sometimes in the past before, where if we haven't had enough tracks, we play some tracks that didn't get verified and tried to give some feedback on what could be done to make them verified. And that's exactly what we're doing today as well. So this is the last actually verified track on Xbox One as part of the community verified showcase. And it was a very highly rated one as well, with a 4.75. And like I said, this is because we're wrapping up the community verified program, putting it on hiatus for a few months until the expanded and enhanced editions, and then we'll bring it back for Xbox Series X and PS5. So the reason that I wanted the order to be correct is because the next 3 tracks, I ideally wanted them all to go in descending order. So we had the first 3, which were just like a normal showcase. Then we've got a 4.75, which is this, out of 5, remember. And then we were going to have a 3.9, a 2.5, and a 1.5. So sort of the tracks getting progressively worse, you could say, in terms of the rating that they got. But the playlist just wasn't having it, because Rockstar. So we've still got the 4.75 in the right order. Then we're going to be doing another playlist after this, which will do those sort of extra 3 tracks. Which, again, those tracks aren't officially verified. They didn't do enough to get verification. And we're going to look at them, see why they might not have got verification, and explain how they could have been improved and how they could be improved. Because I think it's only like 20% of all tracks that get submitted actually get verified and showcased, because the quality just isn't there for the rest of them. Very nice hill circuit. Longer track. But not just left to the hills as well. We got custom created roads like this, which give a fresh take on the same roads. But then we got some classic road sections as well, that are always great to drive on. That was close. Like, look at all this. Completely using all the stunt props to create an entire bridge and custom section. With elevation change, undulation, it's all nice and smooth. Feeds into itself, like into the roads very nicely. It's no use just putting some custom roads down and having them morph into the road at a weird angle and be rough. Things have got to be smooth transitions between custom roads and regular roads. All this custom created. Hairpin here. Again, all on a downhill slope as well. I can see why this scored so highly. That whole custom section is just executed so well, and it flows so well with the rest of the track. It just feels like an extension of the roads that you're already racing on. So just keep this track in mind. This is a track that scores almost perfect score. Close to a 5. And try to pick out what is different about this in comparison to the tracks that we're about to see. Because part of doing these content creator streams has always been to try and teach and help people understand, you know, if you're a budding track creator, what works, what you shouldn't be having, things like that. But we don't focus too much on what you shouldn't have, we focus more on what you should have. So by showcasing some tracks that got lower scores, we're also going to be contrasting it a little bit with what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. That just flows beautifully into the road. And then back into another custom section that again has some just so smooth. Top 5's always possible, I'm chasing it. Oh, come on! Again! Just behind Bedleth for a top 5, 2 races in a row. Ugh. That was nice. So what we need to do now is what we need to do now is everybody leave. Well, the playlist will end, I suppose. Keep an eye on who is in the top 5. The top 5 in the playlist are still going to go to the back for the next race. But I'm going to start up the next playlist and invite people from the last job there. That's the thing though, Baggins. The idea is to just focus on showcasing the tracks more so than the racing. I know it's a bit of a pain if that happens, but I want to try and get through the tracks to showcase as many as possible. Because there's so many good tracks out there that deserve to be showcased. And Rockstar aren't going to do it, so here I am. Alright, so now we're into the second half. Which I had to create this playlist because the order didn't save and it still hasn't given me the right order. In reality, I wanted the 3.9 track first, then I wanted the 2.5 track, then the 1.5. We've still got the 3.9 track first, but we're going to be doing the 1.5 rated track before we do the 2.5 track. So that's the only difference to the order that I wanted. But I guess we'll deal. Alright, we'll continue. Like I said, Sports B for the cars as usual. We'll keep Sports B for all the tracks to keep the cars the same, so you can judge the tracks based on, you know, the tracks rather than different cars. I hope we see more don't do this sort of races. Obviously showing what's good about them, like general layout or decoration, but showing what lets tracks down will help, I think. The problem is, again, we've only got a set amount of time, and I want to showcase the tracks that are good enough to be verified and rated as top tracks. It's difficult to give time all the time to tracks that aren't good enough because there's only, you know, a short amount of time and limited time. But when we've got a stream like this where we only had 4 tracks that were verified, we got another 3 slots, so might as well run through the gamut of 3 point something, 2 point something, 1 point something. Normally we show only showcase 4 point somethings. Bruffy is like GTA International Rescue. James Nash, that is like one of the best things that anyone could have ever said to me. I loved Thunderbirds as a kid. I still love Thunderbirds now. That is such a compliment. So, Sports B, top 5 from the playlist, from the previous playlist to the back. And then we'll keep doing top 5 from the playlist to the back, but it will just go from the new playlist. Jester RR. I don't even remember where the Jester RR is. tier list was put up there. No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe just R is C, right? So it should be allowed. I mean, you can use it. It's going to be a bit slower than these cars, but... No idea how to go about getting submitted. Well, it's if you read bruffy.com/verified, it explains how you submit all the tracks. Except now is the time that you can't do that because we're on a hiatus for the submissions. So everything you need is always on bruffy.com/verified for all the information for the community verified program, including how to submit tracks. So this is our 3.9. So this one almost made it in. We actually have a rule as well where if even if it doesn't get an average score of 4, if 80% of the testers, so 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 9 say, depending on how many testers we've got on that specific platform, say that it's a 4, even if the other two think it's a 3 point something, then it will be upgraded to a 4 anyway. So for a track to get a score of 3.94, I think this is, and still not be verified is actually pretty rare. Normally if a track gets a 3.9, there's been enough 4s to put it through anyway. But this one had 3 people saying that it was a 3 point something. So 1 more than necessary for even that cutoff. So it's almost there. No, Brad. They still would have had too many people saying that it wasn't a 4. Oh my god. Alright, I think that is a very good roundup of the sort of thing that I was going to say, what Fireheart says in the chat. Good but unspectacular. Some of the notes were about how like some of the checkpoints could be made a little bit better in some areas, especially in the chicanes, to make them a little bit easier to see that it's a chicane. think the idea of submitting with the regular racing, the regular playlist race, is that it's kind of got to do something a bit more these days. Like, it's okay for an event submission to be a bit more on the utilizing standard roads of the map side, but when you compare it to the track that we just played that had such a huge area. What is with the bad rejoins today? Well, in this race. Like, when you compare it to the track that we just raced that has a lot of, custom road and wide variety of elevation and change. Oh, that's a weird checkpoint placement there as well. Change from the base. Like, that was really nice, that section, but I want more of that. The rest of the map, the rest of the track is mostly just regular roads. Some of the additions around here are really nice with like that custom section. I feel like maybe it's so long that it's stretched out a little bit, and it kind of, I feel like props could be used a little bit better to make it just a little bit more interesting. Also, some notes that some of the the people who know more about the creators said is that feels like you've used funnel ads or obstacle gates for the custom section just after the highway, which is just about fine in the dry, but in the rain they're not as full traction, and there's better props to use to have full traction all the time and more predictable to control. And yeah, that's true. The first section of the entire track is pretty much full throttle. Why is that even there? Like, you could just get rid of the first section, focus on the city part, and I think that would be more interesting. Nevertheless, what props give full traction? They're all listed on the Content Creator Hub. But from my personal thoughts is that I wouldn't have been against that being a 4 and getting verified. Like, it's on that cusp where, the way the averages work, and it just fell short on the scoring. But if one more person had given it a 4, it would have got in as a verified track. And I would have been fine with that, It wasn't bad by any stretch, and it was on the level of some of the other tracks that have been verified already. We're just going to I'm just trying to sort of point out why it might not have got verification, or what could be done to make it even better and make it a slam dunk next time. But I wouldn't begrudge it being a verified track, if the ratings had fallen a different way. So that was one that just missed out. This, on the other hand, is one that I was going to play last, because this is the one that scored 1.5. Some notes for this before we get into it: rough transitions, walls too high, snap lines, a lot of bad checkpoint placements, one very narrow section after checkpoint 32. On the plus side, good corner variety. So we'll see. And again, none of this is to have a go at the creators. Everybody learns and everybody, is trying different things and improving their skills in the creator just as much as racing. Remember, top 5 in the playlist to the back. I think I'm starting the harmonic start this time. We're trying to give some constructive feedback and to show not only the creators of these tracks, but also other creators out there kind of what not to do in a way. And for those who don't know what snap lines are, it's when the creator uses the creation tool to snap two pieces of track together, but it doesn't actually snap them together in a perfectly smooth fashion, and you've got to go into the advanced placement and bring one of them up or down a little bit to actually make them. There you go, there's a snap line right there. Right in front of us, just before the checkpoint. It's just it's a way to tell that someone hasn't gone into the advanced, placement and done the proper job. They've just snapped props together, which isn't the best way to do it. Oh, okay. Funnily enough, we had a docks circuit earlier on in the playlist, and considering that scored a 4 and good enough to be verified, you can directly compare it to this. Still better than anything I would have done. Well, that's the thing, a lot of these things are the very top creators being able to spot things that a lot of us might not have been able to spot, and that would only become apparent when you get into a race and, you hit a prop that's not got a good hitbox or something like that. The checkpoint placement is a really bad part of it, though. The checkpoint... Oh, okay. The checkpoint placement is way off. And I think that alone justifies the 1.5. Checkpoints are the key thing, and if you're not getting them right... this very narrow section as well. That was mentioned. So the rule for checkpoints is that they need to be on the apex of each corner. So this one should be a little bit further back. And the next checkpoint that you see should be as far away as possible from the previous checkpoint, such that you can still see it from the previous checkpoint. Like, there's no indication of that type of corner there. Usually checkpoints are pretty good at telling you the makeup of the corner that they're on as well. Like, that checkpoint's way too far forward. Too many checkpoints here. That's too far forward. Well, too close to me. None of the checkpoints are on the like, that one's okay, I suppose, but it's a little bit messy. I agree with the walls as well. The walls are sort of too high. Feels very claustrophobic. It doesn't look that great. If anything, do you need the walls at all? Like, you can't see that checkpoint. That checkpoint should be viewable from the entire straight. And that one's too early again, so I'm braking earlier than I need to because I think that the checkpoint is on the apex of the corner. No checkpoints around that corner to show checkpoints hidden. You can't. That's why people keep messing up those two corners, and I did it. Because you can't see where you're going because the checkpoints aren't telling you where to go on those corners. I've always said that the best way to get involved in track creation is to create a track around Blaine County and then go to somewhere like the Content Creator Hub to get feedback and improve it, and you learn a lot from doing that, and you don't have to worry about a lot of things around Blaine County. It's very straightforward to create a track around there. There's no lampposts, there's no walls that you need to cover over. I feel like that needs to be done before coming and tackling something like this around the docks. Actually, I knew I should have chosen the neon. I think there's certainly potential. It's not as if, you know, there aren't things that can be fixed. It's just, it's very messy. And there's some very basic... I think that's the reason that it's got such a low score, is because the things that it's lacking are just so basic. Like the checkpoints. The fact that I can't see that checkpoint down the whole straight. The fact that they're not in the right places to actually denote where to go. And again, this comes from a place of trying to give some constructive feedback to potentially help. Yeah, this whole section here, it's very skinny and has things jutting out of it. Not great. No elevation on the custom sections. I've said it in a number of streams before, you can't just plop down a lot of stunt track pieces. Bump on that bit, it's not smooth. You can't just plop down a lot of stunt track pieces like this and expect it to be considered decent, because anybody can just go into the creator and do that. It doesn't add anything to just put a lot of straight pieces. Again, when you compare it to the tracks that we've seen, you can kind of see the difference in how they go about creating custom rope pieces and custom sections of tracks, even around the dock track. Starting with a shorter track is a good idea as well. This feels limited by prop count. Yeah, but there's so many props on that track that aren't necessary. So that was the lowest rated track, and again, I don't want the creator of that to see this and, you know, be down in the dumps about it. But there are places to get feedback on stuff and ways to improve the tracks themselves and your ability to create tracks. We're trying to give constructive feedback, because if you continue creating tracks like that and submitting them, they're never going to get verified. because that's very far from the level that's needed. Content creator hub especially, yes. And without taking them to other people and getting some feedback on them, the track will never be good. Nobody, not even the top creators, can just create a track that's perfect first time. So that was the 1.5 track. This is the 2.5 track. Ideally, I wanted this track to be showcased before the last one so that we went sort of down in the ratings, but Rockstar had other ideas. So this is the 2.5 track, and this is the perfect example of starting more simple, because one of the comments on this from one of the testers was most submissions that score below a 3 feel like, you know, they're wasting the guy's time for testing it because there's so many improvements that could be made. But they feel that the creator of this track could make something decent if they just started a bit more simple and worked their way sort of back up to something like this, which is probably going to be a bit more complicated. Again, top 5 in the playlist to the back and harmonic start on whoever's at the front. But for this one, there's rough transitions, walls too high. Wait, that's the wrong one. Oh no, I copied the same comment on the previous one. Ignore the rough transitions part, I don't know what's going to be on. But yeah, the main point to take away from this one is that even though it scored a 2.5, the creator is showing signs that they could create something decent. They just might be trying to do too much too soon. But I don't know, we haven't tried it yet. So this was the 2.5, so this is like smack bang in the middle. Well, it's not really, because the lowest you can get is 1, and the highest you can get is 5, so it's a little bit less than middle. I think I'm at the back, but I'll just go to the back anyway. Is that low traction props? Oops. It's my bad, I shouldn't have known about that corner. Snap lines again. It's not the best. If you're driving around your track that you've just made and you see those thin black lines around it going horizontally across the road surface, you've done it wrong. It's a crash. First track I put on Content Creator Hub and never submitted to this was also too much too soon. Yeah, I totally see. Like, there's enough here. You know, this isn't simple stuff to construct. Like, I couldn't create something like this. Maybe I could if I spent a couple of days, but to put all these props together in such a way isn't an easy thing to do. But it's lacking sort of that extra mark of quality. You know, you've got places where you can just completely fall off the track. It doesn't look that great in some places because you can see other props, massive props behind in the distance, and yeah, I agree. It feels like too much too soon. Trying to create a super, like, this is a bit ugly, this whole section, and these are low traction props around here, so you're losing grip. You don't want that. That road piece over there, ugly. Places to fall off the track over here. Places to fall off the track further around the lap as well. It's just lacking a little bit of the big arrows don't look great either. Aesthetically, it's not that pleasing, and that counts for something, honestly. I like that section. Finesse, thank you. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I didn't know that I was even looking for it, but I was. Those wood sounds. If you can hear wood like that, it's low traction. But some of it, like the transition up to the hill here, it's not too bad. It can be smoother, but the fact that the creator has actually shown some interest in making it somewhat smoother than just putting the road slap bang in the middle of the road itself. You know, there again, a little bit smoother than just placing it. But, you know, what is that? What is the need for those big arrows? And why is there a section there that requires big arrows like that? Why can you fall off the track? Why is there a track piece right next to us? It doesn't look very good. Floating in midair. But that's a really nice section. I like that high speed that goes on the downhill and then to the uphill. I bet there's a lot of tracks that are similar to this that get submitted where people are trying to do too much and not necessarily getting the nuances of what is making these tracks become verified in the first place. They're seeing maybe what is shown on the content creator streams and trying to recreate their own version of it without fully understanding the nuances that make the tracks so good that we showcase. Trying to replicate something that you see like that is difficult. I love this section though. The undulation on the custom road piece was really nice too. Like, keep that and build around that, but more simply maybe. This is just a bit too much. Yeah, the track was there at the side to make a wall. That was the reason. But it looks horrendous. To have like another track piece right next to you that's just floating. Like there's better ways to, or better props, I would assume. I prefer this over the Docks one. Feels less claustrophobic. Well, this got a higher score than the Docks one, so that makes sense. So yeah, those are 3 tracks that didn't make it. One that was very close and could have made it very easily. It just had the ratings gone the way, gone a different way. One that was very far away from making it, and one that was also far away from making it, but there were signs there that there were things to take forward, and the creator is showing signs that they could create something good, just maybe taking on too much too early. Or at least not getting any feedback. I think a lot of the problem with these low rated tracks is that none of these creators get feedback on them. They create something, they know it, they think it's good, they're not critically looking at it or comparing it to other tracks with a fine-tooth comb. They're not involved in a creator community to get feedback on a track and get other thoughts and then go back and improve it and then bring it back. You've got to do that so many times. So yeah, hopefully it's helped not only the creators of those tracks but also other creators out there. We did the karts last week. What haven't we done around Drag Kings? Well, the Formula 1 sprint race is about to happen, so now that it's available, catch up on, slipstream on, customs off, 1 lap craziness. Take your track to Content Creator Hub. They will be very negative, but that's how you learn. That's true. If you can't take criticism of a track might not be up to the level that you think it might be, then I wouldn't join a creator community like the Content Creator Hub and try to improve it. But in that case, you might as well not bother creating tracks at all. And this is what, a 1.0 track? This wouldn't even be scored as a 1.0. This track is so bad that it wouldn't even get a 1. For those who've never been here before, this is the track that I created when the creator was first released back in 2013, on the day the creator was first released. And we just use it at the end of these playlists to limit the playlist to 16 players, and just something for a little bit of fun at the end of the playlist. Just a bit of craziness. It has been recreated though. The recreation was good. Didn't have the crossover though. Bloody hell. Carnage. This is what open wheelers are like with catch-up and slipstream. Never raced open wheelers around this track at the end of a content creator stream. Now the tracks are actually updated. How? This is going to be timing the slipstream and the slow down from catch up right. Yes. And that's exactly what I did. Managed to get at least one win. So yeah, that is the final content creator stream on Xbox One, showcasing tracks that have made the cut from the community verified program. If we do a content creator stream on Xbox One again, it will be from curated tracks that have a specific theme or are just good enough to showcase. And again, I'm going to do these content creator streams once a month, just to keep in with it, you know, on YouTube. I'm streaming all the time on Twitch, but I like to do these. Wow, Yeti cohort got some money on the betting. But yeah, just to keep in with it and keep showcasing some tracks, but it's not going to be tracks as part of the community verified program and the tracks that are, you know, tested and get the scores and things like that. We'll probably do a 5M content creator stream as well again, I reckon. But it's just, we need a little bit of a break from the testing tracks and getting submissions and all that kind of stuff. We need a little bit of a break from it until the expanded and enhanced editions come in March for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Right, that'll do us for today. Enjoy the Formula 1 sprint race. I'd rather it was just qualifying personally, but tomorrow's stream on Twitch is going to be after the Formula 1, so a little bit later than normal. Probably about this time tomorrow we'll be starting. And yeah, feel free to come to the Twitch stream if you want tomorrow. We'll be doing the same thing, racing on tracks with 30 players, opening up the crews, everybody can join, all that kind of stuff. Thank you everybody down below to the new member, the super chat, the donations. And yeah, I'll be back on YouTube as well this time next week for the final content creator stream on PC and the final content creator stream for community verified tracks for a good few months. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks again everybody down below for the donations and the support. Thank you all just for being here and just the support in general. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. See you all either tomorrow on Twitch or next week on YouTube. Thank you guys. Bye bye.